This is my audio commentary for my VR project Stutter. When the player first starts the game, they'll be greeted by a title screen. And they'll be able to see their hands in the environment, and they'll be able to move and look around if they're in the controls using the left and right joystick to move and look. When they first start, they'll be greeted by this disclaimer in front of them, explaining the experience and saying that it's work of fiction, and basically just doing for ethical reasons, explaining that it's not real and based on one person's interpretation. And the next information is regarding how to play the experience, and it'll explain that it's words floating around you. And start experience, you need to ground press the word hello and start the conversation. And it also explain a bit about also how these controls. When the player first enters the environment, there was no time limit to this area. There will simply load the environment simply with the word hello flying around in front of them. They'll see this desk here that's not interactable. But the main point of the game is to get a word and place it onto this part of the desk here. But before I go for the full experience, I'll show you this tutorial area, which is kind of like a area for your player to get used to what they're doing. There's no time limit, no rushing. They can explore and look around the environment if they want to, or get straight into the experience and grab the word and start moving. You'll see in the environment that the trees and all the objects around are covered in topography. From books and from book pages and different word sources. In the ground is covering it as well. And there's also some more details such as piles of books around the environment, such as over there as well, and lying over there. If the player attempts to move around the environment, you'll see that it will start getting darker and darker and darker. And once they reach a certain point, there is a boundary wall that stops them from moving any further, and they will not be able to leave the environment. And this is all around the area, basically where the environment starts getting darker. And it will mean the player can't essentially fall to the end of the map. And they can also get some sort of different views and different ways of looking at the environment through here. So to start the experiments, the player needs to use the triggers to grab the word.
Hello.
And if they also grab the word, they'll also hear the word on repeat every time they grab it.
Hello.
Do this, and you grab and place, it will snow in place, remove from the hand, and then a transition will work.
Hi, nice to see you again. How have you been?
And as you just heard, you might have heard there, that's where you start the conversation, and you'll start hearing on loop this audio of the sentence that the mind wants you to make, which in this case is very good, thank you, that you hear for a minute.
Very good, thank you. Very good, thank you.
And over time, the audio gets more jumbled and more starts stuttering further. Hopefully, the pressure applied to move further. So if the player grabs the correct word, it will stand in place if you try and do it in order. If they grab the incorrect word, it will highlight in red. And they're not going to snap it, and you just let go, and it will float back in place. This kind of adds to the carnage or the sort of randomness of the environment. So if you make the full word for the sentence, which is very good, thank you.
Very good,
This word here, and then that word's now complete, sentence complete, and it will transition to the next difficulty or sentence.
How's work been for you lately?
So that next sentence there.
Stressful, but pushing through.
So Nathan needs to make stressful but pushing through.
But pushing through.
And once again, every time you choose the wrong word, it will highlight in red.
Stressful,
But pushing through. So that's under full sentence made for that one together. This is kind of like a medium difficulty, it's not overwhelming as much.
Oh, okay. How is your partner lately? Still together, I
This one's much faster and much more carnage, and also look a bit more difficulty to how you see the topography to make it a bit more difficult and a bit more pressured in the high difficulty area, and you'll hear the audio.
Broke up because, well, unfortunately.
So as well, unfortunately, we broke up because. So you grab the word hello, try and make it sense. Unfortunately, and again, you can sort of like, if you mess up and grab the wrong words, you can sort of create a lot of carnage in this area where words will be floating everywhere, and you don't know sure what's what. So you can really mess up the area if you get pressured and the player feels that they can't find the correct words, or so unfortunately we broke up. Then you'll find that if you try and make the last word, it will pressure you and not be able to finish the sentence, like in real life situations. And the audio will keep playing a bit longer to sort of let it sink in this part of the experience. And then once that's finished, we'll get onto the credit scene, where this will be another disclaimer explaining some information regarding stuttering that the player might not know about, and sort of explain sort of what they're experiencing this, and kind of grasping the experience they've just gone into. I wanted this at the end because I felt like it'd be better to have them experience it first rather than giving the information straight away. And then the small quote, which I think works well for this, and a website of where you can find more information about stuttering, and the credits for this experience. Thank you for listening. This is my audio commentary for Stutter. I hope you enjoyed it.